Hello everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of Star Trek Agir, a Star Trek Adventures actual play using the rules by Modiphius Entertainment. My name is ELH the Game Master, and joining me are a lovely group of individuals who we'll meet in a moment. In terms of announcements, the only thing I have to say is that next week we are off, because I will be running the Mask game, but knock on wood, after the Mask game, the 16th, we'll be back on a weekly schedule for a while, and then we'll, in June, take the second week off, but hopefully more regular in the future. Other than that, I think we're just going to go ahead and get started, because we did kind of end on a cliffhanger. But first, let's get everyone to introduce themselves, starting with Randy.
Hello, everybody. I'm Randy, also known online as Dr. Nemesis. But in Star Trek Agir, I play the Talaxian captain, Axelin.
Jeremy.
I'm Jeremy, or you're a spy around the internet, and I play our ship's experienced and aged first officer, Dujan Roos.
Peter.
Hey everybody, I'm Peter, or Petrus Aquinas on the interwebs, and I play the pragmatic Vulcan chief engineer, Vectan.
And last but not least, Jeff.
I'm Jeff, also known as Sunbay, and I play your lovable helmsman within JG, rank in S role, Lord of the Spores.
You want to add anything else? More titles? That, or are we just going to keep increasing it every time? Or?
I've been working on it, so I'm trying to figure out a good list.
We'll talk during the break. All right, let's get that intro video going. And welcome back. So, since we did end on a two-parter, one of the players is going to do a supplementary log, and I believe Esral is going to take that responsibility tonight. So, Mr. Esral, take it away.
I don't know what they were thinking, but here we go. Supplemental log. We met a new race, the Z, plant people. First ones I've ever met. And they seemed very eager to meet with us. And what could spoil a beautiful moment like that? A Borg probe. And not the first one the Z have encountered. So now we're off to destroy the probe in as non-technology based manner as possible. So I'm on my way to the Proxima so we can tractor an asteroid and sling it into the probe. I'm still trying to figure out the physics of that. I think I have it figured out, but one or two more sims should have it. And once we destroy the probe, we just have to deal with the Z who think that we brought the Borg with us. I'm going to leave that to the captain. End log. Note to Astra. Begin Spore playlist. And in the Spore chamber, you heard the sounds of baby Spore, doot 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 doot.
I'm taking two threat. I am taking two threats.
No bueno.
You did this to us.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, we do resume with the away team going into the Proxima, and just since it has been a couple weeks, let's get everybody that is supposed to be here. So I believe Vectan, Esral for sure, and then Roos, were you going, or was it the captain? I forget.
I was suggesting Roos, but we actually kind of argued about it, so I don't know.
Right,
if we
that's
ever
why I don't remember.
I will. It's probably going to be me.
I think it should be you.
Okay. Then we'll sort of cut back to the captain as is relevant then. But yeah, Roos, Vectan, Esral, you hop in the Proxima, and you head out, launch away from the aft of the Agir, and begin flying towards the sun where the asteroid is set to pass by the sun. And it is at this point that I have to ask, in terms of ability, who here has the highest con besides Esrol?
Probably
Joy.
me.
Okay.
Joy would have stayed with the ship, probably.
Very much so.
No.
Then it's likely me. I have a con of 3. What about you, Commander Vectan?
1.
Yep. That's me.
I focus on fixing the engines, not flying them.
All right. Well, the reason I ask is because if you all will direct your attention to the Actors tab, the update to the sheet, which actually came in about a few days ago, we now have the ability to track extended tasks a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
So you should see a Deflect the Comet extended task. And just for people at home who actually want to see it, I'll type it out. But for the players, this should allow you to track the extended task a hell of a lot easier. But basically, you have a work track of 14 here to deflect the comet. You have a difficulty of 4 to start with. You have a magnitude of 4 to start with. But you have a resistance of 2 because you don't want to break up the asteroid. And again, you're doing it at a low-tech angle. But the reason I asked about the con is that the main role for this is some form of a con. Now, Vectan, you could help with an engineering, but you got to justify it somehow. But really, sort of open floor how you all want to role play and proceed from here.
What about using security and using the tractor beam?
I'd allow it.
Does that help you out, Exa?
We can do that, but
Question. Could I use my talent, Did the Reading?
Remind me what it does.
So, absorb information quickly. I can spend 1 momentum to use science on a task instead of Oh, wait, it's not an extended task. Never mind.
No, it is an extended task.
It's an extended.
No, this is an extended task. I just don't know if this applies here.
Well, I mean, technically, it still applies to normal tasks.
Yeah. So, use science instead of the discipline you would normally use. So, instead of con, I can use science.
Okay.
One of those like the damn it, I'm a doctor, not a whatever talents.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to attempt to guide and direct Esrol on this task.
That could work too.
That will also work, yeah.
Now, did we invite the ambassador from the plant people to the bridge to watch this happen?
I believe we did, and if it turns out in the VOD that we said the other way, we're just going to retcon it and say that the ambassador went to the bridge to supervise.
All right, so I'll just keep that on screen and kind of tell them as we're going. But unless somebody specifically says they're talking to the Agir, I'm going to let y'all talk amongst yourselves without having, these ambassadors hear all the crazy stuff we say. Because I think that might be bad.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys tell me.
I believe in you.
So am I taking the lead on this, or is Esrol taking the lead on this?
Well, quick question: is deflect the comet the task? In some, will once this task is successful, will the comet be shooting towards the probe, or is deflect the comet just grab the comet so we're in control of it now?
It will throw it towards the Borg.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all one big task we're doing here.
Correct.
Right.
Well, I mean,
the comet is not currently a risk.
Shouldn't you be the background guy to throw in some command or leadership stuff?
That was my thought.
Yeah. So I think can we have Esrol and Vectan do it, and Vectan can use his I'm a scientist, not a tractor beam expert.
I'm a scientist, not a pilot, damn it.
There you go. Sure.
And actually, I will help these two liaise.
Okay.
I will guide them.
But am I wrong in assuming that Ruse has some abilities to kind of throw himself in the middle of things if we start failing badly, to kind of give us a chance?
My stuff is more, I help them if I help them.
Okay.
They get to re-roll dice, and I can direct twice.
It'll work out. All right, well, Esrol, your roll's a daring con. That's pretty easy. Vectan, yours is a daring science, I guess, using your talent.
Yeah, we got.
And then Ruse, if you're hopping in, you're a presence command on your part.
Yep.
Again,
I'm going to
difficulty 4 on
say
this
that
one.
to justify the science,
Mhm.
Vectan is working on the parabolic trajectory to aid the slingshot maneuver.
I like it.
And do you think this would be a time to pop a determination?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Edge of the envelope sound good?
Sounds
Yeah.
good to me, yeah.
That sounds good, but also, do we want to spend a momentum to lower the magnitude or lower the
Intervals of time, yeah.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
there's
that's
one
one.
down.
And if you want a third die, it would be a momentum and a threat.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
I did already have to use a momentum to do the science. I don't know
Okay.
if we already.
So then it would be 2
I
threat.
took it. I took it away already.
It'll be
so I
2
don't-
threat.
Okay.
Okay.
And I have a complication from chat, which will come apparent in a few moments.
Nice.
Oh, lovely.
Does my focus for computers or quantum mechanics come into play? Because
I
warp
could
field
give you
dynamics is
computers
not.
because technically you're trying to chart the trajectory and you need a computer to do that. So,
Yeah.
well, unless you want to break out like the sextant and the graph paper, which you could.
I mean, I could. The Vulcan sextants are very pretty.
Well, we're already off to a good start. We got a complication from
Yeah.
Bruce. We have 5 from
Okay.
Esrol.
And I just roll 1, correct? Because I'm assisting.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, I mean, that was pretty good except for Roos. So 7 successes mean you get 3 momentum back.
And
But
I
Roos...
could do untapped potential to get rid of the complication.
No, but you
You
should
didn't
still
roll
a
it.
challenge
Ah.
die to see if you get
Oh,
more
character.
momentum.
True. Boy, it's been a while.
Yep.
Okay.
Should just be the 1 challenge die. And whenever you've got the challenge
Oops.
die roll, hey, I get a threat. Thank you. But yeah, so Esral, since you took the lead on this one, go ahead and give me 2 plus your con, so I believe 7 challenge dice.
Right.
6. Only have 4 con.
Only a 4. All right, then 6 challenge dice it is.
And did we get momentum from that roll? It was what, 3, I think.
Yeah.
3.
We better add that in. Actually, I'll track that. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is going to be 5 work done, but you have a resistance of 2, so you have a few options here. You can either give me 2 momentum for a flat 2 more work to have a breakthrough here, or you could spend 1 of your momentum to reroll as many of those die as you wish.
I mean, it looks like as good a roll as we're going to get. I mean, we could roll
Yeah.
1 die, but that seems like a waste of momentum.
I say get just to the
Yep.
momentum to get the tasks.
Yeah,
Get the
to
breakthrough.
Get the breakthrough. Yeah.
All right, so then that is going to leap you up to 5 work done. And what that's going to mean is it will drop the difficulty and magnitude down to a 3. However, narratively, here's what happens. So you come in kind of in a intercept profile towards the asteroid comet thing. We really need to decide whether it's a comet or an asteroid, but whatever. You fly in towards the ball of rock and ice, and you begin trying to nudge it into a better trajectory. And you start to pull it away from its near pass of the sun, but here's where the complications come into play. The first one, the one from Roos, is that the Proxima's EPS conduits are going to be starting to short out. Should be a relatively easy fix, but for the moment, you cannot use your tractor beam, and you cannot go to warp because the EPS conduits are on the fritz. So just keep that in mind. That's complication 1. Complication 2 is that the ball of rock and ice is going to crack. It's not going to split apart, not going to fragment, but it is going to noticeably crack or begin to fragment. And what that's going to be mechanics-wise is I'm actually going to put the difficulty back up to a 4.
Agir to Proxima, steady. It looks like from our sensors that projectile might be breaking up.
We see that, Captain. We'll attempt to compensate.
Oh boy.
You still have your extended task. You tell me how you want to approach it.
This tracker is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Is there a way for me to work on the EPS conduits, or would that be a separate thing?
That would be a separate thing you can do whenever. We just have to have you roll separate.
Well, I mean, we've got Roos to assist with the comet situation if you want to break off and do the repair.
Yeah, just because having the tractor beam would help.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when we're ready to do that, I think Vectan is going to peel off to try to fix that.
Why don't we handle it first?
push
Because you
this
could
one.
get momentum from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be either a controller or daring plus engineering. Difficulty of a 2.
Okay. And starship construction?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right, you get your 2?
Just barely.
Just barely, but you get them.
No momentum.
But yeah, so your EPS conduits are fixed. Didn't get you any momentum, but you do have access to your tractor beam again.
Okay. Lieutenant, I have restored the EPS conduits.
Oh, thank you, sir. This is gonna. Yeah. You can just see a little bit of sweat.
I think I'm going to take a more active role and attempt to kind of shave off more of the shave off some of the more damaged areas, thereby helping the overall structural integrity of the asteroid.
Are you using phasers to do this on the Proxima or the tractor beam?
Phasers, because I need that. It's how I want to assist Esro in this whole thing, basically to keep him from breaking it up.
Okay. So in that case, you actually get a little bit of assists here. On your part, Roos, you're going to be doing a control security. The Proxima will assist with a weapon security. And then Esral, you're still either a control or a daring plus con.
Who do you want to be the lead on this, and who do you want to be the assist? Esral's the lead. Never mind.
At the
That's
moment,
fine.
unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah, it should be Ezreal.
And I will use the momentum for an extra die.
Okay.
I use the momentum to bring down the time interval.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that.
So I'm hearing 1 threat for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with it.
Just means I can't use cautious con.
Yeah, and I can't use cautious security.
Oh, you never
That's
know.
okay.
Still get 4. You still start with 2. That's always a good sign.
Ooh.
Well, there is a complication there. And
And
then
unfortunately-
did somebody get the Proxima real quick? Should be a weapon security.
Let's see.
Proxima, where is she?
I got it. Using it for
We don't
this
want me
one.
rolling anyway.
Okay, so that's a total of 6
Oh.
successes, meaning you get 2 momentum for your troubles. And then, yeah, since Roos, you took the lead again, or not Roos, Sral, since you took the lead again, 6 challenge dice, please.
And born near a warp core applies in this instance.
I believe it would, yes.
Okay. And I'll roll that challenge die.
All right, very important roll here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, no
Ow.
dice, unfortunately.
All right. 6 for the task. Good Lord.
All right, so this time, and if you want another breakthrough, you would have to give me 2 momentum and a threat. Otherwise, you only have 2 work done thanks to the resistance at the moment.
We could just.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
All right, so we have another breakthrough, which is going to drop the magnitude down to a 2, and the difficulty is going to temporarily go back down to a 3. But again, narratively, here's what happens. So, Roos, using the phasers, you begin to shave off the more unstable sections of the comet asteroid thing. And Esral, you again continue to coax power to the engines to get the comet ball of ice rock thing moving a little bit, away towards the intended track. But the complication is going to be Vectan, you're in the back fixing the EPS conduits, when all of a sudden the fix you just did is going to erupt in a shower of sparks. And I need to know, what is your current stress at?
I don't think I've taken any stress so far.
In that case, you would be at full. Because it does reset every single scene, so
Okay,
whatever
so I'm
your
at
maximum stress is.
11 stress.
Okay, so the good news is that I have only a very, very low chance of actually injuring you here, but it is possible. All right, you're going to take 3 stress of damage as you get a raining shower of sparks and plasma.
Can I
Nice.
try something real quick?
What do you got?
As it turns out, when we had our first mission and my best friend got killed by a discharge from that malfunctioning spinal lance,
Mm-hmm.
I actually had the replicator put some heat retardant coating on the duty uniforms to mitigate sparks flying in your face type damage.
Before you do that, was Vexan actually injured or just take some stress?
It would just take some stress, but if you want to completely... I mean, I'm okay with narratively.
I may be misunderstanding what suffers an injury means in this context then. So this
My
is when they take a
reading-
certain amount of stress, they suffer an injury?
Yeah, it's my reading is an injury is basically 5 or more damage in a single attack or filling up the stress track. But if you want to completely say that he doesn't take any damage, I'm okay with fudging the rules in this aspect.
I'm okay.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah. I'd like to say that Axelin took a precaution that would prevent this from hurting you.
So Vectan, still shower of sparks, but you look down at yourself and you're fine.
It appears that the captain's precautionary measures were effective.
Yay.
All right. Now at this point, we have to deal with the complication I'm spending because I have threat. You guys, I got to use that threat a little bit. The complication number 1 is that the Borg probe is going to be beginning to move, which means your beautiful trajectory you had plotted is going to become more difficult, so the difficulty goes back up to 4. I'm also going to say with another complication is that the Borg probe is moving more rapidly than usual, meaning that you have maybe another 2 intervals before it's going to notice the Agir and the gig is up, more or less.
And we don't have momentum to lower the time.
Nope, you'd have to give me threat. And chat's throwing me another complication. I'm going to save that one.
Yeah, chat. Keeping it real.
All right, I think we have to give you threat to reduce the time interval.
Yep.
Okay.
I think I'm going to take charge in this instance, and I'm going to
Tractor beam, maybe?
no, I'm going to actually I'm thinking about launching a barrage of micro torpedoes in such a way that they will embed themselves in the rock, not detonate, and use their subspace field generators that allows them to be fired at warp to guide this, to provide propulsion to this asteroid, because the tractor beam is breaking this thing apart.
All right. I would say you would take the lead on this one then.
Yes.
It would be a control security on your part. The Proxima will assist you with a weapons security. Again, the difficulty here is a 4.
I'm going to spend a determination.
Quick question. Are we making sure that those torpedoes are detached from said asteroid at a certain point so that the Borg do not find them in the debris?
Yes, once we've accelerated the asteroid or comet to where it needs to go, they will detach and move away and destroy themselves.
Okay.
So
yeah, determination, which value?
You could use the transporter to just transport them back to the Proxima, I guess.
Could do that too.
Once you've got the projectile going the way you want it to.
This has not been going well. Never let them see you sweat.
Take it.
Also, the Borg removed your sweat glands, so.
And I'm going to give you another threat to get a 3rd die.
It would be 2 threat because
Oh, yeah.
technically, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, guys? Do we want to do that, or do we want to just? I think it's kind of important.
Yeah.
Nothing hurts more than wasting a determination spend, so you should definitely do it.
Yeah.
For the beans.
Careful, Shizno will hear you. He'll sense a disturbance in the force.
Oh, yeah. Don't.
Well, the good news is you got 5 successes, but I do see a complication on the board. Do you have any way of re-rolling?
No, because I gave up that board game plant.
Okay, well, there we go. Well, let's resolve the work done.
Challenging a value wouldn't help me here, would it?
You could challenge a value to get a point of determination back, which you could then immediately use. But remember, if you challenge a value, you have to cross it out, and then at the end of the session, you have to put in a new one.
Well,
Also, wait a second. You have veteran, so roll a challenge dice first.
I can roll. Okay,
because that could be the play here.
Oh yeah, I didn't know at which point that happened.
Okay, so you don't get it back from veteran. So yes, now the only option you have to you is challenging one of your values in order to get a point of determination back. Otherwise, you can just take the complication and the success you have.
What do you think, guys?
Challenge the value. I mean, otherwise you spent all that stuff and still got your
I put we are better together. Well, I seized control of the situation, and it seems to be working.
Okay. So yeah, you can reroll as many of those die as you wish. Could crit fish and do the 17 as well as the 20.
What do you think, guys?
Definitely reroll the 17 and the 20. I mean, your target is a 16, so you're very likely to come out better.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you've actually tied the record of number of successes in a single roll, because that is a grand total of 9 successes. That is very impressive.
So that brings the momentum up to 5, I think.
It does.
There we go.
Then 2 plus your security score. And what I would tell you is you need to have at least 6 work in order to complete this extended task.
I'm gonna let's see.
Spend a momentum.
Oh yeah, 1 momentum will let me reroll as many of these as I want.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or no, it's 3 in Fallout. That's right. I keep
it's
forgetting
Fallout's the one that starts to limit you.
Roll 5.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're up to 5, so you could give me another 2 momentum.
I'll spend another 2 momentum to just end this.
Okay.
All
right.
Just do it.
Put this out of our misery.
So you fire your micro torpedoes. You get the micro torpedoes assisting Esral at the con to shift the course of the asteroid so that it will hit the Borg probe, and then you kick it into high gear. You send the asteroid hurtling at not warp speeds, but at high impulse speeds towards the Borg probe. At the last moment, the micro torpedoes break off and destroy themselves in a way that's a little bit subtle, but you all watch on the screen, kind of with bated breath, both on the Proxima and on the Agir, as the projectile gets closer and closer to the Borg probe, and then impact. And if we were to do a camera shot, basically the Borg probe is split right down the middle, explodes in a violent fireball. Very pretty, nice special effects. But to anyone who doesn't have that, you just sort of see the Borg probe icon on your map wink out.
Beautiful work there, Proxima.
Thank you, sir.
I lean over to the ambassador now. With any luck, that means that Borg probe's going to report back to the collective that it just ran into some space dust.
Well, I hope for both our sakes that that's the last time the Borg show up, because I can explain one Borg being happenstance, but if another one shows up, that's going to be a bit of an issue.
Do we want to sanitize the area? Go to where the wreckage is and shoot it the heck up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. We should definitely make sure there's no Borg stuff there, yeah.
Sir, we should clear up the we should assess the wreckage and ensure that there are no more Borg present.
That sounds like a job I'm going to trust a lot more to the Agir's sensors. So why don't you liaise with us, and we'll go there together.
Understood, sir.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the Agir has to stay here, otherwise my people are going to freak the hell out.
Is it okay if the Proxima goes to the detonation site?
Certainly, but keep in mind everybody is watching, not just through me, but in general.
All right, well, keep that in mind, Proxima. Let's be on our best behavior. And just go ahead and make sure we destroy any traces of Borg technology so they can't regrow or transmit.
Commander.
Yes, Commander.
Would it be possible to allow the Z themselves to investigate the wreckage? In which case, if there were any sensor readings from the Borg, it would only detect the species from the system.
This would make sense. However, it might believe that my only concern is that it would then consider them a threat if they then take action
It is
against.
possible.
But if they could tell us where
the Z are here.
Yes, but they have been ignoring them because they haven't done anything hostile. Now, if they could scan and identify any remaining Borg, and then we destroyed them quietly,
That would also be an effective use. I was simply trying to
No,
facilitate
yeah,
a manner that the Z would be involved, so it was not simply the Proxima.
I agree.
So I have to deal with one complication because you rolled one. And Roos, I think it's time that I have to offer you a devil's deal here. If you decide to let the Agir or recommend very heavily to the captain to use the Spinal Lance, because the Spinal Lance is at optimal range right now to quote-unquote cleanse the area, I will let you get a point of determination back. But you have to sell it really, really hard to the captain.
I can't do that.
Okay.
That's a blatantly obvious. Hey, not just a Fetty ship was here. This Fetty ship was here.
The one that blew up your cube.
Yeah, I appreciate the offer and would take it up, but he would that would be his strong counter thought to that.
Okay. Then the complication.
Since I used it. Okay, go ahead.
The complication is going to be that even on the Proxima sensors, you sense that there are about 5 Borg drones that have survived the destruction of their vessel. They're just floating in space, just not latched to anything, just tumbling through space. But you would note that they are of Alpha and Beta Quadrant species.
Sir, we're detecting multiple Borg drones that survived the attack. They are not local.
In fact, if one of you wants to spend momentum to ask the question, I can tell you what species they are.
Yeah, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
You have two
Just enjoy run
Cations.
life scans or life sign scans on those. I want to know what species they are.
You have 2 Cations, you have 2 Vulcans, and you have a Trill.
They're from Federation space.
Yep.
Yes.
Why'd they get way out here?
Unknown. We could attempt to capture one and interrogate it, though the implants I would typically use for this I no longer possess.
No, I don't want to give our new friends any more reason to suspect that we're in cahoots with the Borg. Let's leave that for another day. I think we should disintegrate them.
Well, Captain, I'm actually going to say that you have the value of everybody has the right to freedom. And
That value.
if you allow me to do so, I want to create the complication that, I mean, you freed one Borg drone already. Mr. Roos is right there.
Yeah, okay, so instead of saying disintegrate them, I'm going to say, you make a good point. Not only could we interrogate them, but if they're not too far gone in the Borg collective, perhaps we can free them from their slavery.
I request that you allow me to return to the ship before we bring them aboard.
Of course, you are our resident expert. But then again, We'll just need to beam you over because we'll still need the Proxima to go get them.
Understood.
That means you're in control of the Proxima shrooms.
Aye, sir. And I'll look over to Commander Vectan while that's talking. And, sir, what if the Z see that these Borg are members of the Federation species? We have some of these on the ship already.
Indeed, I am one of them.
Aye, and they're already nervous about us bringing the Borg. And they see Borg of species.
But we can also show them that, Lieutenant, we can also show them that there are real beings behind the drones. If we are successful.
That's true, sir.
Also, if we are successful in removing these individuals from the collective, we would then be able to show that these individuals are not choosing to be violent, but are being forced by an exterior force.
Aye.
All right. So before we switch scenes into a little bit of diplomacy stuff, we have to do a very, very important role for the Proxima crew as you're picking up those Borg drones. Because as you've rightly figured out, if the Z detect you, they're not going to be very happy with you at all. So what's going to come into play here on the Proxima is you have the slim sensor silhouette here. And it's a control engineering at a difficulty of 2. But if you succeed, I'm going to do a roll, but it is basically a difficulty 4 roll for me to detect that you've picked up the Borg drones.
Okay. So this is definitely a Vectan thing.
Mm-hmm.
Control engineering.
Definitely a Vectan thing.
Um,
You have 1 momentum by my count.
An assist of me flying?
Nope, just a straight control engineering on this one, unless you have a really good explanation about how you're assisting.
Well,
You're a really good pilot.
if Proxima's picking up the Borg, then I would stay aboard Proxima. So I would like to I would like to do a daring security or control security with my specialization of infiltration to use our active countermeasures to better mask our signature.
I'll allow it. You can assist.
okay. Would a focus in starship construction or warp field dynamics work here?
Both would apply.
Okay. I kind of want to use the momentum for the extra die. What do you guys think?
Go for it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Well, you got the 2 you needed.
Well, let's see if I can help.
No
No.
help there. But it is now a difficulty 4 roll on my part. So let's see what happens. All right, let me expand that so everybody can see what it is. Looks like an 18, a 13, a 6, and an 8. Well, you guys scraped by because that's only 3 for them. So, narratively what happens, you engage the pseudo-cloaking measures of the Proxima. You swoop up to the Borg debris field, scoop up the Borg drones, throw them in containment fields, block their synapses from contacting the rest of the collective, and you hightail it back to the Agir. Now let's focus on the Agir itself, because again, your ambassador, Nisa Lovely Spark, has witnessed most of what has just happened. She has no idea that you've captured some Borg drones, other than the fact that I guess you did kind of mention it on the bridge a little bit, but she hasn't questioned you quite yet. She just thinks it's standard rescue operation. So at this point, Lovely Spark is going to turn the blue and purple she does when she's transmitting and receiving. And then she's going to turn to you, Captain, and say, well, I'm going to be frank with you, Captain. My species, my leaders, are very much on the fence right now. They don't know quite what to make of you.
Oh, well. The Federation has a lot of different species in it, so our culture is comparatively complex. What do you think we could do to put their minds at ease?
Well, for one, You could come down to the planet yourself, much like I have come without any guards or escorts, and you could talk to my leaders in person.
Of course. That sounds great. My crew has a project to engage in anyway. We have to recover from that encounter with the Borg.
Very good, very good. Now, I would invite you to come back with me on the shuttle, but unfortunately, there's not really a whole lot of room in there. But I can give you coordinates for a landing zone for one of your shuttles.
Would it be acceptable for me to simply transport down there?
I'm sorry, transport?
Oh, we have technology that allows us to move physical objects great distances instantly without them traveling. We call it beaming or transport.
I mean, I understand some of the words in that sentence, but I'm not understanding.
Well, watch this. Computer, localized transport. Could you send me to the other side of the bridge?
I have a complication from chat. So,
Oh God.
It sends me to the other side of the hull.
that would be one hell of a complication.
Tuvix!
Don't tempt me. I love Tuvix.
Do not melt Vectan and Excellent. Don't do it.
Vexalan.
So
Excellent and Joy.
here's what happens, Captain. You dematerialize, and then you rematerialize. You're in sickbay, and in fact, Hailong just sort of looks up from her desk, from her datapad, and goes, "The hell are you injured, Captain? Why are you in my sickbay?"
Only my
Astra.
pride.
Astra, what was that?
Well, sir, I hate to report, but there was a monetary flux in the Heisenberg compensators, and I had to put you down in the nearest safe location.
You're making us look really bad in front of the vegetable people.
Well, I can confirm, sir, that the ambassador is freaking out on the bridge. She
Can
thinks
you
you disintegrated
transport
yourself.
me back there? Can you transport me back there? Or is the Heisenberg thingy still messed up?
I certainly could use a different transporter room to do so, sir.
I start running for the nearest transporter room.
Make sure you take a
Ambassador,
blanket
please
with you so
calm
you can hold
down. I'm
Take a
sure the
blanket with you.
captain is...
Good.
Go ahead. No, I was just miming Joy talking to the ambassador. It's freaking out.
Yours is better.
I don't
love your
understand.
berries.
He was there one moment, and the next he's gone. And why would he kill himself like that? I don't understand.
Oh, he's not dead. He's far too strong for that.
But
I'm
you
sure
have some
he's
powers over
just
immortality.
Computer, please locate Captain Axelin.
Captain Excellent is currently sprinting through Corridor 7 on Deck 5.
My, that was a rather descriptive location.
Well, it's kind of my job. I'm the computer. It's what I do.
Thank you, Astra.
Astra's having none of Ensign Joy's BS.
As you heard, our captain is fine.
But he's not here. Like, he was here one moment, and you can just, at this point, no role required, you can see that the ambassador is having, like, one of those moments where, like, if you were to go to a caveman and show him, like, a phaser, he thinks it's a god power.
Joy will walk over and put her hand on it. Just be like, please calm down. It's fine.
Okay, I have a very important question that actually matters because of Joy being an Orion. Does Joy still possess and use her pheromones?
She certainly comes off like she does.
I would imagine that she probably does.
Okay. Then I need Joy to roll me a presence and a command. This is a difficulty of 2, but complication range of 18 to 20. And technically this is an activation, so you can improve her here.
Yes. Do we want to boost her command here or her presence here?
Presence.
Yep.
Makes sense for the character anyway.
I hope she doesn't accidentally a war.
And
What I'm saying, I'm hoping when I get back to the bridge, she's not making out with the lady.
No, I wouldn't go that far, but the pheromones, because they're plants, so they're affected differently.
Oh,
hence the complication range increase.
And she doesn't have a value. So we're just performing this. I'm going to give you a threat for a third die.
Threat for a third die, all right.
I don't know. Is this evasive maneuvering?
No.
It's not. I know. I'm playing. Do we want to give more threat for more dice, or do we just want to see where this goes?
see where it goes. Could be
I
fun.
lean towards just see what happens.
Like Chaos Rain.
Oh.
Well, that is
Well,
0
soon, I
successes, but no complications at least.
We didn't accidentally a war, only a skirmish.
So, Joy tries to calm down the ambassador, and the ambassador is having none of it.
None of it.
None of
None
it.
whatsoever.
And at this point, you know, they're starting like their flowers and their sort of like pseudo mouths that are kind of to the behind their head. They're kind of snapping, and she's getting very defensive. She's like, I mean, if you could just snap your fingers and disintegrate me, does that mean all of this was a lie? Were you planning to just disintegrate me if I wasn't receptive to your demands? At this
Why would
point,
the
Captain,
captain
they're
have
running to the
disintegrated
bridge.
himself?
Can I transport back to the bridge now?
Do you want to transport back or merge on the
Yeah,
turbo?
I was
loop?
running to one of the transporter rooms so I could transport in.
Okay.
I was hoping that I could just make it look like I just transported real slowly.
All right, so in that
No.
case, you transport back. I'm going to spend the complication that when you transport back, the ambassador looks at you as you rematerialize and faints on the spot.
Hello. Bridge to sick bay. We have a
You were
botanical
just here,
emergency.
Captain. What's wrong?
We have a botanical emergency. The ambassador is.
I'm a doctor, not a xenobotanist.
Today you're a xenobotanist.
Do I need to bring a stretcher?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll grab my horticulture kit and be there shortly.
Thank you. The captain looks over at Joy. No one on this ship is normal.
You are our captain, sir. Would you expect any less?
First ship. My expectations are wide open. Proxima, everything going okay?
We are currently en route back to the Agir, Captain.
It looks like I'm going to transport down to talk with our new friends alone, per their request. So I'm going to leave Numero Uno in charge while you free our prisoners and see what they know. Yes?
Understood, sir.
All right, and just to be clear, you said beam down. Did you mean shuttle down?
Oh, no, I'm going to beam down.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruse
Oh,
is
God.
just grinding his teeth.
Oh God.
Okay.
It's gone so well so far, right?
Mm-hmm. All right.
That Heisenberg
We're gonna beam
compensator.
down with the and we're gonna beam down with the unconscious ambassador.
No, I'm going to wait for the doctor to deal with that. I'm just telling them what to expect once we solve this health problem here. This gardening issue.
All right.
It's botanical conundrum.
Botanical Conundrum. There you go. There's a good band name. Botanical Conundrum. All right. Well, let's skip ahead maybe about 10, 15 minutes where everybody is back on the bridge at this point, unless you want to be elsewhere. You're looking down at the ambassador. Hailong's there with her tricorder, and she just kind of scratches her head and goes, well, in my professional opinion, she ran out of sugar water.
I go over to the replicator and get the Miracle Grow cocktail that they whipped up.
Okay. And Hailong looks at it and goes, the hell is that? It's green.
Yes,
It's-
and it doesn't taste nearly as good as most green things.
You have a habit of putting green things in your mouth?
Ensign Joy? No.
You don't?
Joy just perks up. What? Sorry. Hylong just shakes
Usually-
her head and goes, I honestly don't know how more of you are in my sick bay more often.
This is a special concoction that the captain arranged to have brewed or developed to.
We know
They seem
find
to
it
like
delicious.
it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm here, and if it goes south, I'm here to fix it. So go ahead, water the flower.
Do you think we should administer it intravenously or something? Do they have?
To be honest,
venuses?
sir, I can tell you that I have about a 5% understanding of the biology.
I'm going to put that on my list of diplomatic exchange things. All right, well, let's just try to put it in whatever orifice she was using when she was eating at the table.
So you would know that she used one of her back head mouths to consume the liquid before.
Well, let's start with an eyedropper or a straw. Or
Yeah,
something.
I was going to start to dribble it in,
Okay.
probably with my finger.
So, you go through the process. You do get her to have her eyes flitter open, and she looks up and sees Simon and goes, "What are you? What? I don't know your species." It's because I'm a different one, honey. Besides, hey, look, the captain's back and he's alive. Look at that. Ah ha ha. And then the ambassador
there.
looks at you, Captain, and goes, "Captain, I have no idea what just happened, but I have to tell you that my people are freaking out at the moment."
I apologize for the startling. Are you going to be all right? This is the member of my crew tasked with keeping our health, keeping us healthy.
Like a gardener? Or at least that's what you hear. You hear gardener, but
Our title for her is doctor, but I suspect it's a very similar thing.
I see. Well, she starts to sit up a little bit. I feel a little wilted, but you're not gonna beam me anywhere, right?
Of course not. No, that's not the sort of thing we would do to someone against their will.
Right.
I will hand her another one of the green things.
Oh, she just readily takes it and pours it into her side mouth and enjoys it and goes, "All right, well, I'm gonna head back to my shuttle. You have the coordinates. Come down within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, things might get more messy."
I'll take a small vessel rather than the alarming means of transport,
Very good.
since it seems to be freaking her people out. Hey, and that'll let me bring down some of that delicious green juice.
That actually might be a good idea.
Okay. Astra, 1 barrel of green juice.
Please don't misplace it in the transporter.
Put it in the shuttle bay.
Of course.
In one of the shuttles.
So, we're going to say security officers escort the ambassador back to their ship. And we're going to do a side cut to the sick bay where all 5 of the captured drones are now on each of separate tables or different bio beds. And Roos, you're there for sure. Vectan and Esra, I'll leave it up to you whether you're there or not. But
Since I was there the first time, Vectan is definitely there.
And it was a Cation, a Vulcan, a Trill like Ruse.
It
And
was
what
two
else?
Cations.
Cations.
It was 2 Cations, 2 Vulcans, and a Trill.
So what about you,
Fucking
Esra? Are you
bar.
going to be there as well?
I'll go to the war chamber.
Sport chamber. Okay. So Roos and Vectan, you're with Hylong and you're looking at the Borg drones, and Hylong just sort of looks across her sickbay and goes, "Why are we? You know what? I'm not even gonna ask that stupid question. I already know the answer. So, what do you want me to do, sir? You want me to deprogram them? Do you want me to take out their implants? Do you want me to activate them? What do you want me to do?"
Let's see if we can remove their implants and deprogram them.
Okay, just gonna let you know that that's gonna be a very involved process, and I'm probably gonna need Vectan's help on this one.
Of course, Doctor.
All right. Well, then CMO powers, nobody except Vectan and security officers are allowed in this sick bay for the next 36 hours.
I believe I should stay as well.
You are attending to security, so that's your purview.
Commander, may I remind you that while the captain is gone, you are in command.
I appreciate the reminder, and if things go south, I will leave sickbay. I believe my experience may be instrumental here, however.
I have no doubt. I simply am reminding you of your duty.
Thank
Please
you.
God, send shrooms to the con so that Joy doesn't have the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Who's going to be piloting your shuttle?
I'll fly it
Joy?
myself. They wanted me to come alone. I'm going to fly it myself.
Okay. Well, I'll go up to the bridge.
Before you do, though, Estral, as you check in on the spore chamber, everything's fine. But the spore phone rings.
The spore phone.
Listen, you guys made this spore phone. It's now a thing.
I
It is
had
definitely
completely
a thing.
forgotten about
This
it.
is
So
about-
awesome.
If this is somebody asking about an extended warranty, I swear.
I don't know.
Hello?
Maybe we need one for our transporters.
All right, so you pick it
Or
up.
the EPS circuit. Hello?
You pick it up, and you hear more of a juvenile voice. It's still kind of husky, but it's more juvenile. So I'm going to do a juvenile voice, or attempt to do it anyway. And it goes, "Hi, is this the really cool alien ship that's in orbit right now?"
Yeah?
Okay, cool. Because me and my friends, we're doing a report for school, and I thought, we're supposed to be doing a science project, and I thought if I talk to an alien that's like super science.
That would be pretty science, but check this. Your friend is an alien to me.
Whoa, that's like really, really cool.
So what can I do to help?
Well, I think, and you hear some chattering off. I think we want to interview you.
Normally I have to refer all that to our public relations people, but maybe just a couple questions?
Okay. So, first thing, do you grow from the ground, or do you grow from the ceiling, or where do you grow from?
We don't have a physical connection into the ground. We walk on the ground.
Well, that just sounds silly. I mean, if you're not in the ground, well, okay, I guess you are an alien. That would make sense.
I'm trying to avoid, because there's a whole bunch of different types of us, so there's a lot of different. But there's some that actually go through the ground.
Ooh, do you have one of those? Could we interview them?
We don't have one. They're called the Horta, and we don't have one on our ship.
Oh,
There's only
What
a
are-
couple in Starfleet.
what are you then?
I am a Boolean.
Okay.
I am blue,
Ooh, you're blue. Blue's a very nice color.
and are you green?
I'm green, yeah.
Do you have, we met your ambassador, and she had giant flowers on her shoulders?
Oh, mine's more like a bush.
Oh, okay. Neat. Are berries on the bush, or?
Yeah, they're and it translates as blackberries, but it's obviously something different.
Oh, neat. Let's see. What
Are
else?
you using the spore phone to have explicit conversations with underage plant people?
Oh my god, why did you have to put it that way? Now I'm gonna have to age gate
God.
the video. Oh god.
I just, diplomatic incidents. You're going to get us on a list.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Well, that just changed the whole mood. Just
Oh, boy. Yeah, so,
Here for-
anyways, what class is this report for?
This is for our middle school project. It's our science fair.
Oh, okay. Well, do you have access to this type of communication?
Well, yeah, everybody can connect through the network.
Are you using a device, or is it?
No, we can just do that. Everybody, every Z is connected to the network.
Oh, interesting. Because we have to use a physical device and use another type of features. Not the right word, but
technology.
we have to use something else another medium to go through to communicate with you.
Oh, I guess that's an alien thing.
Yeah, because like I said, we're different.
Well, I can't keep talking to you for very long, but can I call you back when it's safe again?
Yeah, but make sure you have your parents' permission.
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Astra appears next to you. Sir, I must
Chris
inform
Hansen
you
might
that
be
you
after
just
us.
broke about 17 Starfleet regulations with that phone call.
Yeah, but I found out more about how they use mycelial network.
Yeah, kind of sounds like they're always all connected to it.
Yeah. And I was hoping we might be able to get some spores from them to kind of help reseed. Not really the best term, but you know what I mean, to help beef up our spore population.
Yeah, that might be a touchy subject for them if they're connected like that.
Yeah.
Well, let's just hope
well.
the captain doesn't cause any more diplomatic incidents on his little away mission.
I mean, what are the odds?
That would never happen.
And with that, we're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break. We'll be back shortly, everybody. Stick around. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 2, Part 2 of Star Trek Agir, where apparently we're one Bush innuendo away from Chris Hansen showing up. We resume with Esral coming into the captain's shuttle as the captain heads down to Z Prime.
This is the captain.
Yes, sir. This is Lieutenant Esral. I just wanted to let you know that the spore phone is not secure at all, and any one of the Z can talk to it.
Oh, well, hopefully their social order will keep inappropriate people from, making prank calls to my ship.
Right now, it's just been kids.
Wait a minute, you children are calling the...
They're connected to the mycelial network at the individual level.
Really?
Internally. That must be how
Rooms?
the ambassador was transmitting back and forth.
Rooms.
Sir.
Did any children talk to Ensign Joy?
No, sir. Just talk to me.
Okay, great. Just you. It was a short conversation, right?
Oh, yes, sir.
We didn't talk about anything. Okay, great.
Oh,
great.
no.
Let's not answer any more of those calls.
I'll just refer them to PAO, Public Affairs.
Good call. Thanks so much for letting me know.
Oh, not a problem, sir.
Now I'm going to get back to concentrating, see if I can land this shuttle. It's been a minute since I flew myself.
We'll have the transporter standing by.
Thank you.
Buddy, you've said it, Captain. What is your con score?
Dose.
Okay, it's not a 1. Give me a control and a con, difficulty of 1.
You don't have Vectan piloting you. That's a good thing.
Would my starship tactics be an applicable focus?
No.
EPS conduits in case they blow.
Okay, let's see. I mean, that's 2 successes. I mean, you get a momentum. So,
Yay.
Captain, you fly down on the surface of Z Prime. Again, Z Prime is a very green world with green oceans, emerald-colored oceans. And the coordinates you're given seem to be on the, not quite the outskirts, but also not the middle of the city, somewhere in the middle. But as you're starting to come through the atmosphere and land, what you notice is that this is almost a solar punk utopia. And if you've never seen solar punk before, what I mean by that is that basically everything from the individual tree to the fields of grass to the gardens, all of it has been merged seamlessly with the architecture, where you see columns of white with ivy wrapped around it. You see windows which have algae built into it, providing solar power. You have actual solar panel and wind panels on all the roofs. You have garden roofs of all variety. This is very much, if you'll pardon the expression, a hippie utopia, where this is love and peace to the maximum kind of a thing. But your landing zone is kind of just a serene sort of soccer-like field. So it's about the size of a soccer field. And waiting for you kind of looks like about 3Z. They look to be a little bit more, shall we say, ferocious than the ambassador was. These seem to be more like a piranha plant, if you will, whereas the other one was more of kind of a dragon fruit. But as you land, your computer tells you that the atmosphere is breathable. You shouldn't have any issues. But you do notice that the gravity is just a slight less than it would normally be.
Okay. I'd like to see if I can't offer a threat to you to use my widely traveled talent
Okay.
to gain a focus that would be useful on this mission.
Okay, what focus would you like?
Well, I was thinking of something like charming or making friends.
Let me look at your focuses real quick. Why don't you take diplomacy for this one? Because negotiation is great, but I think diplomacy is what you need here temporarily.
Okay, yeah, I will just, on my way down, re-listen to a little bit of my Starfleet training on diplomacy.
Okay.
Maybe reread some of my notes when I was at the academy.
Fair enough. All right, so stepping forward, and if you'll excuse me, I'm not going to do the raspy voice because my throat is killing me. But one of the Z does step forward and says, "My name is Chestnut Cheddarfield, and on behalf of the Z people, we welcome you, Captain."
I am really grateful for that welcome, Chestnut Chesterfield. I'm Captain Axelin of the Talaxian species, and I am a representative of both the ship, the U.S.S. Agir, and the United Federation of Planets.
Yes, the ambassador
that our
has...
peoples will be great friends.
Yes, the ambassador has filled us in somewhat, but there are some matters of grave concern which we would like to discuss.
Absolutely. We want to make sure that we put your minds at ease.
Well, if you'll follow us, we have a spread available to you. We don't have any meat on the planet, at least meat that you would find to be your definition of such, but we do have a large garden that we have collected some samples from that you might enjoy.
Wonderful. That sounds great. I make an effort to move gracefully and slowly in that direction. Probably not nearly as slowly as these folks, but I don't want to seem like I'm darting hither and thither.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where you're led away from the soccer field through a few of the streets, and you do notice that there are like some smaller Z that like poke their heads out of windows, or some of them that kind of start to approach you, but then security chases them off, that sort of thing. But you just get the senses as you're walking about that you are very much a spectacle right now, that you are being seen, you are being heard, you are being observed. But eventually you're led to a different sort of open field. And in this open field is a table with all manner of greenery available to it. Now, very important question. Are you carrying the bottle of, or the barrel of green?
I mean, I assume the barrel is physically larger than what I could carry, right?
You could
maybe
strap it to your back.
You could slap an answer
those little
hover pallet.
Yeah, those things. Yeah, I'll be pushing it on one of those if that's all right.
Sure. So I think as you come to this spread, and it's basically your classic vegan spread where you've got everything out in the sun that's green and can be edible as long as it's vegan. But it's also one of those things where the Cheddarfield kind of looks at the barrel as you bring it along and says, "I'm meant to ask, what is this the barrel of green that you provided the ambassador earlier?"
It is. Your ambassador liked it so much we wanted to share more with you.
Well, I hope we have something here that you'd like to take back to your people.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Now, I have to ask, what is your fitness medicine score?
11.
Okay, not bad, not bad. How much, if any, are you going to sample or eat from the hors d'oeuvres?
I will try a very small amount.
Okay.
Because these people have communicated several times to having a really bad understanding of how we operate. So heaven only knows what they're going to try to feed me. I don't want to eat a pine cone.
Well, we'll see what you roll. Go ahead and roll me a fitness medicine difficulty of 1 here. And I am going to make the complication range a little bit more difficult with some threat. The complication range is now 18 to 20.
Now, I doubt I have anything that's going to apply here, but I'm going to at least say, does street smarts apply?
In a way, I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So how big is my complication range?
3. Well,
Guess what?
Oh God!
Ride it.
Yeah.
So
Well, then.
we get an alert on the ship that the captain is just passed out.
That wasn't food. That was the chef. These monsters. They ate the president.
I'm honestly stunned because I was expecting one complication, maybe,
That's a
but
horrible
2.
roll.
We've been bad tonight.
I'm proud.
Yeah, we can't roll.
I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm not even upset. I'm just mildly impressed. I mean, okay.
Went from tying the record to
Yeah, honestly, somebody go back through the VOD and check, but this might be beating Peter's record at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the first thing you pick up is a spiky purple carrot. You bite into it, and immediately, I have to ask, what is the spiciest thing you've ever had in your life?
In real life, probably just some very spicy pepper sauce, like some of that ghost pepper stuff.
Oh, you've actually had ghost peppers?
The sauce. I haven't had an actual ghost pepper, but yeah.
Okay. Well, from what I understand, it's basically the same thing. So you basically bite into a ghost pepper, and it is intense. It is, your eyes are watering, you're puckering up, and you instinctively reach for what you think is the nearest liquid. It is
Why
blue.
did you just drink our child?
I drink a lot of it.
You drink the blue. Now I have to ask, what is the most bitter thing you've ever had in your life?
Persimmon, probably.
green persimmon.
Oof.
Yeah. So you don't get a milk or a cooling sensation like you would hope, but you just get pure bitter extract in your mouth along with the ghost peppers. So you are suffering right now.
Are we tracking the captain's vital signs on
Yes.
the Agir?
Yes.
We
I
are.
do my absolute best not to freak out, and I'm going to harm myself by following one of my values. Drink deeply from the cup of life, and I try a third thing. I'm hoping it'll balance out what's going on in here.
Their ambassador did pass out on our ship, so
I mean, this looks like tofu. It's probably really mild, right?
Sure. We'll say that you actually, when you try the tofu, it's actually pretty mild. It has the texture of cottage cheese, but the flavor's, decent.
Yeah, I loosened my collar a little bit. I'm just like, okay. Thank you for the food. That was very food.
Agir to excellent.
Just a moment. My ship needs something. Yes, this is excellent.
Are you in distress, sir?
Not at all. Just sampling the local cuisine.
Do we need to send medical down?
No. Don't do that. Fine. Totally fine.
Understood, sir. We'll be monitoring you from here.
Yes. So, what were the grave matters you wish to discuss, Mr. Cedarfield?
Cedarfield or Cheddarfield, whatever we want to call him at this point, because I realize the error of my ways. He actually takes a few of those purple carrots, pops them in his mouth like they're nothing. Absolutely nothing. Doesn't faze him at all. He says, well, first things first, we want to understand your connection to the Borg. I mean, you did help us get rid of the Borg probe that came in, but they also showed up right as you did.
Yes, we, when we arrived in this general region of space, we accidentally caught the interest of a Borg sphere, and it has been pursuing us for some time. We were fortunately able to destroy it recently, and in fact, actually recovered one of the Borg drones and was able to disconnect him from the collective and return him to his previous state. When we arrived here,
I think the Borg's arrival must be a coincidence. Rest assured, there are enemies.
You say you disconnected, so you reversed the process the Borg enacted?
We do. This is at the cutting edge of my people's medical science. It's a rarely successful procedure, but something we're trying to master because so many of our citizens and friendly diplomatic contacts have been assimilated by those monsters.
Interesting. What is this transporter technology? I mean, we saw some footage of what happened, but we still don't understand it completely.
Yes, it's a relatively old invention among my people at this point. It analyzes a piece of matter down to the molecular level and disassembles it in one place and reassembles it in another place.
Is it the same thing on the other end?
Yes, although I think some philosophers have argued that maybe it's just an exact copy.
Something for philosophers to debate, I'm sure.
Exactly. I assure you, I have memories of every time I've been transported. I don't think I just popped into existence after the most recent time it happened.
Then the next question I have for you, Captain, is what is your intent coming here?
It is a core tenet of Starfleet, which is the part of the Federation that I work in, to seek out new life and new civilizations. And our people have never met your people. So we were hoping to learn about you and offer you information about our culture.
Interesting. Well, as our ambassador told you, you are the first aliens we have ever encountered.
Did you receive the map of the local area that we have made that indicates other alien civilizations near you?
Yes, we have our finest scholars going over the data as we speak.
We hope that will lead to a prosperous exchange between you and your nearby neighbors.
Which is actually a interesting point of contention. What do you want in return for providing this data?
We simply want to know what you're willing to share about your people. In particular, I think we're very interested in this way that we're communicating with you from our ship to your planet. That's not the usual way that the Federation communicates at long range. We've never done that before.
So you are not connected to the network as individuals?
No, I'm pretty sure the network that we're using to communicate with you is something that Starfleet has only very recently discovered. And we only have a tiny bit of technology that interacts with it. Though we would love to learn more.
It's a hard concept to talk about. It is a connection we have from the moment we gain sentience, from the moment we are able to view ourselves as individuals. We always have that connection. All our memories, all our instructions, everything is passed down at an instinctual level.
Fascinating. And if one of my crew, because like I said, this is a new technology, so it's not something I personally know very much about at all. If one of my crew who is more educated on this topic than myself were to want to speak with some of your scientists to glean some insight from them, would that be acceptable?
I will have to discuss the matter with my fellows, and he motions at the other two who he has not introduced yet.
Of course. I give a little wave to his fellows. Or I guess to its fellows.
Its, non-binary, we're not sure. Either way, while that's happening, let's go back to the ship real quick. So Roos, Victan, Hailong, you are deborging the Borg. And I need to ask a personal question of both Roos and Victan, and I'm going to let you guys come up with the answer here. So we know that Victan studied under Roos at the Academy, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have a Cation classmate?
I certainly had Cation students.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would say that it is very likely.
All right. Because in that case, as you are deborging the Borg, you're going to recognize one of the Cations. And I'm going to let you come up with the name, but if you're stuck, I can always make one up real quick.
Ooh, name on the spot.
You're
I know,
probably
name on
gonna
the
be
spot, the
better
most
at that than
horrendous
I
thing
am.
anybody in tabletop can do.
Illy.
Chat's like, name them Mittens.
Oh god.
That wouldn't be a terrible nickname, actually.
Mhm.
If
Ensign Beantoe. Toonce is the helmsman that can fly, but not very well.
How about Kreia?
Spell it out and sure.
Kreia.
Throw it in chat.
Right.
Yeah, you recognize what was Ensign Kreia.
Commander, this
I do
board bears a striking resemblance to Ensign Kreia.
I believe that is the case.
Oh, weird.
Let us begin.
Of course, Commander.
So Hylong comes over with a bunch of laser scalpels and other tools and says, "All right, Roos, do you want to actually have hands-on here? Because one of you is going to have to hold my sword in case the board gets up."
I will take the sword in one hand and be interacting with a tricorder with the other.
So when you pick up the sword, it is definitely a two-handed weapon. It is very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, just so you know. And yeah, so I'm going to let you two decide who's assisting Hylong here.
I
But
will assist
Hylong is going to... Let's do a daring in medicine on her part. And let us say that the difficulty here is going to be a 3.
Okay.
But the good news is that she technically has a focus here, so you got that going for her.
You got her. Okay. All right. And what am I assisting with?
For you, I'm thinking probably a daring in engineering.
Okay. I don't think I have a focus that applies here, so.
Computers.
I don't know if
I don't know
computers
if it's
applies to
gonna
the
work.
Borg, per se.
No.
Yeah, that's why I don't think it really works here. Okay, well. Nice.
And then who feels lucky for rolling for Hylong? You do have 1 momentum by my count.
I'm in the room. I will roll for Hylong, and I will spend the momentum, probably.
Okay. Again, she is daring medicine.
Probably a pretty good pool for her.
She's not...
Oh, she has quick study. So I guess technically for her
Yeah.
it's a difficulty of 2.
That's what I was just about to ask.
Nice.
Yeah, so only a difficulty of 2, I believe, in Hylong.
But her complication range goes up, yes?
No, complication range actually stays at a 20. Unless you want me to spend threat.
Augmented ability daring.
Ah, yes. In that case, it would become a 19 to 20. No, an 18 to 20.
Hmm.
But that does give you an automatic free success.
Okay.
In the chat as well.
Okay.
Why? How many?
Why?
Why? I mean, technically, that's 2 successes, so you succeed, but that's another complication. Why?
I'm going to spend her determining. Can I spend her determination to not have that happen? Or no,
yeah,
I would
but you
spend
have to
that,
use the
yeah.
value when in doubt, punch it.
Why not? I don't have to prove anything to anyone. But
Yes, I will do. I will do that actually, and I'll narrate that through. She's having a particular one of the implants. She's gotten all but one of the major implants out, and but one of them has decided that it wants to that it registers that the other two are missing and starts to reassimilate this Gaetian. So she draws a combat knife, puts it between the skin and the implant, and like pommel smacks it down into. So now there's a knife embedded in the table. There's a little bit of damage to the casing, but not much. And this implant has been forcibly pried away.
Hypo spray, tricorder, stiletto.
So as the implant goes skittering across the floor, Hailong says, "One of you go stab that with my sword. Make sure it's dead."
I will do that.
Vectan, I'm gonna need a laser suture, please.
of course, Doctor.
All right, good. Need a glass of water as well.
Right at this moment,
I am thirsty.
shall I release the Borg? I'm like helping.
I will bring over.
Down.
I will replicate a glass of water and a mek'leth because I'm tired of holding this big ass sword. So I put the sword, lean the sword against the table, hand the glass of water, and then hold the mek'leth on my shoulder.
Not a fan of my sword, Commander?
I'm not as young as I used to be.
Fair. You know what? Fair. Maybe we need to get you doing one of those calisthenics programs that the captain's doing in 2AF these days.
Perhaps.
Well, the good news, since you succeeded, the ensign is going to wake up, and Ensign Kriya just sort of flutters her eyes up and goes, "The hell am I? I mean, you look like Vectan and you look like Roos, but you're in
How long has she been assimilated?
Same time as you.
Same time as Roos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we'll need to have a conversation. In the meantime, I'm going to usher her away and not let her see the other 4 biobeds.
So to be clear on that, she is currently on a biobed. She's not up. She's just have her eyes open. Do you actually take her off the biobed?
Not until she's cleared. I will, but I will stand between her and the other biobeds so that she can't see them. She's just looking at me.
Well, that's going to be the complication, is she's going to look past you. Goes, "Oh, God, did they get everybody?"
Define everybody.
Well, everybody that
The
was on
whole
the ship
ship.
when,
What ship were you aboard?
And I'm blanking on the one in your backstory, but it's the same one as your backstory.
Oh, she was. Oh, I would have known if she were a member of my crew, literally.
Yeah, let's
The
clarify
Kobayashi
that then.
Maru.
That all of these, now that you get a look at them, they're all from the
Oh,
crew of
no.
that vessel.
Oh, so she'd be calling me captain and stuff.
Yep.
Yes, those of us who survived were assimilated.
How long
It
has
is
it been,
now-
Captain?
It is now insert year here.
That's,
I don't remember exactly. what year we're-
2382.
So that's 20-ish years, 25 years, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the quarter of a century. We've been Borg for that long?
I believe so.
Kind of looks past you at the others.
We're going to see what we can do.
Okay. She looks at this
In
sword
the
that's
meantime-
next to the table. Do I even want to know what's with the sword, sir, and the mek'leth?
The process to reverse assimilation is new and not always successful. But if something must be done, I will do it myself. I owe you that. and them that.
I'd take your word for it, Captain. Hey, Victan. Remember that assignment we worked on together?
You will have to refresh my memory, Ensign.
Well, the one about the anti-grav units and how we needed to boost the efficiency by about 15%. You remember that one?
Ah, yes. We
Yeah.
boosted it by about 16%, as I recall.
Yeah, but it was thanks to your brilliant idea to reverse the osmotic oscillator.
Indeed. I have implemented that in most of the anti-grav units here on the ship.
Welcome aboard U.S.S. Agir, Lieutenant. Master Chief.
And Hailong at this point takes a hypospray and she goes to sleep. Not Hailong, the Cation. Though that would kind of be funny if she's like, all right, I'll be back.
I'm
Done.
tired of it.
Peace!
Does she walk in circles 3 times before she... Never mind.
Well, yeah, if the Cation... Well... All right, so now that we have that handled, let's go very quickly back to Esral. Esral, the spore phone has rung about 5 times at this point.
Hello?
Hi. This is going to sound like a really weird question, but are you the aliens that are above our planet right now?
Yes?
Cool. I have a bet with my buddies here. We're out drinking, and we got a bet for you. I mean, is it true you guys eat meat? Is that something you do? Are you actually like living meat, and you eat meat?
Some do.
So you're cannibals?
Well, we don't eat our people of our own species.
But you do eat meat.
We do eat meat. Some do.
Told you
Not all.
guys, that means you gotta buy me another round, and the conversation just clicks off immediately.
Settled another bet.
The phone rings again.
Hello?
I don't know why, but just the fact that you're picking it up brings me
To
joy.
Starfleet Academy, there's going to be, like, in their first contact course, an entire day spent on this mission. Like,
So
what?
the,
I'm violating the
menu.
Prime Directive. I'm settling arguments. It's peacekeeping, diplomacy, negotiation.
So this time it's a more highly cultured voice, or at least it sounds a little bit more learned, and they say, "Greetings, I understand that you are a member of the alien species that is currently orbiting our planet.
Yes, we are. And who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to blah, 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 blah. It would help if I had words. You are speaking to researcher Swiftlace at the Institute of Technology.
Oh. Welcome. I am Lieutenant J.G. Rankin Esrel of the U.S.S. Agir.
Very good. We are calling on behalf of our ambassador. They wish to have information regarding your transporter technology.
I will have to ask my captain about that. I can't release that on my own. I'm not high enough up in the rank structure.
Well, your captain has been meeting with our leaders for the past several hours. We will direct our inquiry there. Apologies for the confusion.
Oh, no problem at all.
Have a wonderful day.
You too.
The phone rings again.
Spores RS. You got the time, I got the time.
Hello?
Hi. We would like to sell you an extended gardener warranty
Extend warranty on what?
on your gardening tools.
Computer
I don't
target
have
that
any
location
gardening
and
tools.
fire.
Sorry, what did you say? I lost it.
I don't have any gardening tools. Do you know where I can get some?
I think they cut off coming. Like, line just goes dead. Anyway, back at the captain as hijinks are happening.
You know, and I can't leave the phone off the hook. It's just always on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, before we go to the captain, I think Astra materializes and looks at the phone and goes, I thought you were going to give it to the public affairs office.
It just keeps ringing.
Well, you could ignore it.
There have been a lot of casualties.
And Astra, does the constant use of the phone have any effect on the spores?
Let me check. She looks at the spore camera and goes, huh, 3% increase.
Interesting.
You're not actually going to keep answering calls because it gives us more spores, are you?
Well, if it gives us more spores, I'm not really giving anything away.
I will just
You
say
told
that we're
them
now
about
up to
our classified
violation
meat technology.
63.
We can go up to like six more violations before it gets dirty, nasty. Think about it.
This is one of those number jokes. I see what you're doing.
Nice.
Very well. I will continue making note of your violations.
I appreciate it. Now, do my violations exceed the increase in spores?
No, I don't think that's related.
Okay. Which is good.
I'm just going to come back. The captain's going to come back, and Asher's going to take like a whole ream of paper and just put it on his desk. This is what Esral did while you were gone. Speaking of Captain, at this point, you've mostly recovered from your Ghost Pepper bitterness barrage. And at this point, Cheddarfield has been a bit more amenable to your requests and your questions. At least he seems, or they seem, a little bit more open to some degree. But they do kind of like veer off track and say, "We wish to understand your transporter technology a little bit better. Would you be able to provide us any information on that front?"
Sure thing. Tell you what I can do. I'd like to have that technician I was talking to you about earlier, who knows the technology about your network better than I do, bring down a diplomatic packet containing a breakdown of how the transporters work and related technologies like our replicator. And that way he can talk to your scientists about your network while he's talking to them about our stuff. Sound good?
Well, it sounds like a wonderful idea, but I will inform you that apparently over 60% of the populace has tried contacting your ship at this point. We're a very inquisitive species.
Well, we like to think of ourselves as very curious as well, but like I said, we're sort of new to this whole network thing, so I doubt we've been able to answer any of those calls.
Well, according to the network, what I've seen so far is that your Lieutenant Junior Grade Esral has answered a good number of questions and settled a few bets.
I'm glad to know that. So, about that cultural exchange. I mean, I hate to tear Lieutenant Esral away from the phone, but he is the one I would like to send down, if that would be all right.
We would like to see a demonstration of this beaming technology, if that's okay.
Perfect. Yes. One moment. Axel and to Agir.
Oh, God.
Agir here.
I'd like you to send Lieutenant Junior Grade Esral down here with a diplomatic packet containing information about the basics of transporter and replicator technology, and perhaps he can ask the scientists of our new friends about their, what would you call this network?
We just call it the network.
About their network.
Understood, sir. Shuttle, transporter, or torpedo?
Transporter, please.
Understood, sir.
When he gets the phone bill, it might be the torpedo.
Did he say torpedo?
It's a very fast way to transport personnel, sir.
Good point.
All right. So,
Esral to transporter room 1.
Now, I don't want any of your people to panic. A new member of my crew, approximately the size of me, should appear out of thin air very nearby soon.
And I'll say, Esral to Commander Roos. Sir?
Roos here.
Yes, sir?
I need you to go to transporter room 1 and beam to the captain's location with a standard first contact package. Information package.
Aye, sir. Would he be wanting? Because I was contacted by members of their some research institute wanting information on the transporters. I told them I had to ask the captain. Think it might be related?
Very likely. Basic information would be part of the standard first contact package.
Okay. Will do, sir. And do you think I could bring a couple of the spores with me to see if it's the same type they have? Just a little vial, not many.
Do we have them to spare?
Well, answering the phone has caused an increase in the number of spores. So we actually have more than we started with.
I'm assuming we have containers designed for this.
No, we got a bigger one. Just have to make the bigger one smaller. We have to have something smaller. I can check with Hailong on my way to Transporter Bay.
I'm in sick bay with the commander. We've got containers, sure, but you hear
just a little vial.
What is this phone you guys keep talking about? Somebody hasn't. What is this phone?
You're not authorized. Sorry.
What? I'm the CMO.
I can't even tell PAO about it. They're not authorized. That's why I'm stuck answering the phone. It's either me or Joy. Who would you rather have on the phone?
Hailong looks very accusingly at Commander Roos at this moment.
There's a communication mechanism that leverages the mycelial net.
Well, that's great. Have we tried calling Starfleet?
We haven't nailed it down quite yet to that degree.
All right,
but
I think we're more on the receiving end right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna need your mechlith.
And we talk on it. They might hear anything that we say. So
we don't have enough minutes in our plan.
I'm gonna need your mechlith about right there above the left shoulder blade. If you could just get it in there and get out for me.
He will do so.
So as you continue chopping up Borg, we go back to Captain Axelin. Because Vectan, you're currently assisting Hailong with the Borg process. So I'm just going to roll for random ensign number 2. All right, random ensign number 2. Let's see what you got there, buddy. I mean, surely he can't roll 2 complications, right? Surely. Okay, no, he rolled a 10 and a 16. So, Esral, you do beam down with a data pad in hand, and you appear a good distance away from the captain, but not like too far away that you can't just like walk up to him. And the Z just kind of all look at this process and they go, "Oh, interesting." And they start, like conferring with one another and they start comparing notes. But Esral, you are now on the planet.
Hello, Lieutenant Esral.
Hi, sir. And
I'm glad you were able to tear yourself away from the phone. I offered
You've heard.
A significant look. Only just recently.
Oh, I couldn't allow anybody else in. And they kept ringing.
So this is Lieutenant Raken Esral. He's a member of the Bolian species, another long-standing member of the Federation, far longer than my people have been in the Federation. And he is as close as we have to an expert in the technology of your network, because, like I said, we're very new to it. We're the scientists that would like to know about the transporter technology.
And he points, or they point over your shoulder, and you turn to look. There is a veritable crowd of Z ready to come over, but they're very patiently waiting. They have formed an orderly queue.
I pick up a purple spiky carrot from the table. Thank you, chat. And say, "Here, a snack from from the native gardens of our new friends. Would you share some transporter technology information with these scientists and see what we can find out about their network so we can get better at interacting with it?"
Oh, by all means, sir. I'll just take the packet to whoever needs it.
All right. Don't eat it all at once.
Oh, my metabolism is different. I
Yeah,
eat a lot of.
I don't think Bolian. I think Bolians are resistant to spice.
Iron
Yeah,
stomachs.
they are. They are. So for Esral, I think this is the equivalent of like eating a marshmallow. This is nothing.
Oh wow, chewy.
I look a little irritated that didn't work.
Well, I mean, at this point, you all have achieved first contact. You've started the negotiation process. I'm content to almost call it there, but there is one very important scene I want to handle between Vectan, Roos, and Hailong before we cut off for today's session. So you've gotten through 3 of the 5 drones at this point. You've saved the Trill, you've saved Kriya, one of the Cations, and you've saved one of the Vulcans. And we'll talk and figure out names for the others, but...
And these are all still from that same ship?
All still from the same ship.
From my ship.
Correct.
From your old ship, okay.
Now, here's the issue, as Hailong pulls both of you aside and says, I'm going to be honest with you, commanders. The last 2 are a little bit more damaged, and time is ticking. I'm only going to be able to save one of them.
Ooh.
Commander, you are more familiar with your crew.
So who do I have left?
You have a Vulcan and a Cation. We'll say, just because we're going to have to figure out names offline. Let's say the Vulcan was a lieutenant and the Cation was a chief petty officer.
We know their relative ages and stuff? Like, is
The lieutenant was roughly mid-30s. The Cation was probably fresh out of the academy, or whatever the off the non-com equivalent of the academy is.
Oh yeah, 7-year wonder kind of thing.
Mm.
Oh dear.
Time's
have to
ticking,
save.
sir. I need a decision.
Are they both comparably injured, Doctor?
They have similar injuries, yes.
Neither has an advantage over the other in survivability.
Correct. It is a purely objective decision.
I'm the XO. Would either of them fill a particular niche aboard ship? We
I
have
would
taken
say-
some damage. We're far away from home.
Right. I would say that technically there's merits to both of them. Let's say the lieutenant would have some knowledge as it comes to things like Federation law, things related to... excuse me, a little bit of indigestion. Things related to piloting vessels, you would have another pilot that you might need. Whereas the Chief Petty Officer would be more of an engineer, but in a different field than Vectan, sort of filling a niche that Vectan doesn't cover.
Well, I mean, we've gotten this far without following any Federation laws. Come on.
Okay. So I do the math. I say, give me something that will end it quickly.
She hands you a hypospray.
Thank you for not handing me the mechlev.
Well, I mean, I might be a ruthless son of a bitch sometimes, but I'm not that heartless.
I'm going to go up to the lieutenant because the lieutenant is older.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give the young person the chance to live.
All right. And on that very somber note, that is where we're going to end today's session. So yeah, what did you guys think?
I mean, from a certain point of view, we were like an inch away from disintegrating all 5 of them. So we have done better for them than we were gonna.
Mm-hmm.
So. Oof.
Yeah, it was different when before I realized they were all my crew.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of why I let you make that choice.
So sad.
And that's why I did it myself.
That's when you want a Vulcan to make the choice, because the Vulcan's not going to get all emotionally tied up in it.
He wasn't. That's why he was letting...
The Vulcan can just be like, I will flip a coin.
That's why he kept asking, is there any difference between the two? Is there more survivability?
And
Is one
to be fair,
choice more logical?
all of this is going through Roos's head too. He just didn't say it.
Right.
So, we just need to learn to roll better.
I mean, yeah, seriously, someone go back
was
through.
very complicated.
Seriously,
Get the
someone go
dice
back through and check, and then compare it to the old Kasumi game, and let me know if.
Yeah, it was like
Kasumi's-
session 4, I think, was where I epically screwed up.
Yeah, it was either 4 or 5 of Kasumi where it was just complication after complication. Because I'm genuinely curious at this point. But yeah. All right, excellent. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Twitch, stick around, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.